Joining us now for more on what is really going on with the housing market is Brown Harris Stevens CEO Bess Freedman. Bess, you're smiling. That's great. Sully's side up. We had good month-over-month numbers. Year-over-year, not so good. How are you looking at it?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Sully side up. That's a great way to start the spring market. So thank you for that, Brian. Yeah, I think 1 month doesn't mean that we're in a safe place. And remember, we had a historic run up in the pandemic. After that, in 2021, everybody was out there buying and spending. It was the year of FOMO, as you know. It was a big party, and rates were low. And now what we're seeing is sort of a bit of reckoning. And rates have gone up. We have inflation. We have the war. We have all these things going on. And I think that has slowed things down, which makes sense. And, the rates couldn't be that low forever. They had to go up. And that's impacting everybody. And so we're seeing that in housing as well.
Unless you're a cash buyer, and by the way, there are shocking numbers of cash. I have no idea how these people have all this money, but they do. Outside of them, I don't think, Bess, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody buys a house, at least I didn't, on the price of the home. I sort of looked at the rates and my down payment and the home and said, I can afford this much every month. And then my guess is pretty much everybody maxes out what they're able to afford on a monthly basis. So when do we get sort of that equilibrium where prices come down enough where that monthly payment is the same as it was with a 3% mortgage?
I mean, we saw a little bit, Brian, where prices have started to come down a little bit. But what we're really challenged with in so many places, like the Hudson Valley and Rhinebeck, and you mentioned New Jersey, another place that's challenged, Palm Beach, these places, they don't have enough inventory, and the demand is really high, and it's inflation, the imbalance of supply and demand. And so we're seeing that in a lot of areas. And so that hasn't shaken out yet. And in other places like New York City, we have good supply and decent demand. And so the market is more fluid. But this is going to take a little bit of time to see how everything pans out.
Yeah, let's throw that map back up. The Northeast got walloped year over year. I think it was down 22.6%. Palm Beach, a bit of a surprise, Bess, given that everybody was moving there. It's like, got to make me an old fashioned and fire up the King Air, fly somewhere else. On a serious note,
it's Wall Street South, they call it. I was just there 2 weeks ago, and everybody wants a piece of Palm Beach, and there's something like 77 homes on the market there, and so many businesses have moved there, and it's part of that is due to taxes. Obviously in New York City we have that issue, and people go there. It's like a safe haven, and so that's a whole separate issue. But I wish we could just talk about the Sully side up. That's so much more positive.
Well, by the way, random but interesting. I rented a house at Airbnb in West Palm Beach, over the bridge, as they say. The guy that lived next door to the house lived next door to where I live now in New Jersey as a kid. You can't make this stuff up.
No way.
True story, 100%. 100%. Anyway, that said, on a serious note, all these community banks, these small and mid-sized regional banks, a lot of them do mortgage lending. A lot, not everybody lives in, thankfully, New York, New Jersey, or Palm Beach. Is this going to have a knock-on effect? Is it going to be harder for working class people, hardworking people, to get a mortgage now?
No, I mean, I hope not. I don't think so. I think what you're referring to what happened with the banking crisis, and I hope that has been contained. I think that we are in a place where people are still able to get mortgages. Those small banks are still in operation. I don't think we're in that place. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't macro forecast, but it looks like we're out of the mud in that regard. And I think that, people are out there buying homes. We're seeing this, middle class people are buying homes. It's really a safe place. In this environment, it offers stability. There's appreciation. It's for consumption. You can't live in your stock portfolio, but your home is a place, it's sacred space. It's an emotional commodity. And people believe in the home buying process now more than ever. So I don't think what you mentioned about the banks. I mean, look, could we have some banks go under? We saw that could happen. But I think people are going to continue to buy, and I think they can still get mortgages, and we're in a good spot.
We're going to get you back on in a month, Bess, because we got to see if that 1 month trend, 14.5% pop, continues, or if it's a one-hit, the Dexy's Midnight Runners.
I know that song too.
Of real estate
I know that
data.
Song.
Who doesn't? You've been to a wedding?
Well, come on, we're Gen X. That's why.
All right, fair enough.